Courtney is the head of tax at Intuit Credit Karma. She has more than a decade of experience in personal finance and is passionate about helping consumers manage their money and plan for their financial futures. Today, she will provide useful tips on how to prepare for tax season and how to make the most out of your tax refund. Hello, Courtney. Nice to have you on the show. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, the IRS, they're open for business. Oh, boy. So, Courtney, what can consumers do to prepare?
You know, if you hear the IRS is open for business or you hear the word tax season, you feel nervous, you are so far from alone. In fact, nearly 1 in 3 Americans told us that they are dreading filing their taxes this tax season. But if that's you, I'm here to tell you that it does not need to be scary. The best things you can do are sit down and get organized and make a plan. You're probably already getting tax forms sent to you in the mail or sent to you via email. Put a shoebox on your desk for anything you've got coming in the mail, or create a folder on your computer for anything electronic. That way, when it's time to file, you've got everything ready to go. And as hard as it might be, really try not to procrastinate. I know I'm the queen of waiting until the last minute for things like this, but the earlier you file your taxes, the earlier you're going to get that tax refund if you're owed one this year.
Everything you mentioned is so true. It's been happening to me. You know, tax season is upon us, but there are so many filing options. So how can the consumers decide the best option for them?
Yeah, there are so many options in terms of how to do your taxes, and it can be really overwhelming, especially people who might, for people who might be filing for the first time this year. It's really helpful to go online and spend a couple of minutes doing research to see what's best for you. But the good news is that online tools have gotten really smart. They're fast, easy, intuitive, and they really kind of hold your hand through that whole tax process. But if you're still feeling nervous and you just really want that human touch, someone to reassure you and tell you everything looks okay, a lot of online options like TurboTax also offer expert assistance.
You know, I must say the good thing about filing for taxes is the refunds. That's on the minds of nearly every American this year. But what should they be thinking about, Courtney, when it comes to refunds this tax season?
Refunds are such a hot topic right now. 3 out of 4 Americans are expecting to receive one this year, and 1 in 4 are actually expecting to receive a bigger refund than they did last year. But if you're hearing that and thinking, I don't know if I'm going to get a refund or if I'm going to owe a bill or how big it's going to be. There are free online tools like on Credit Karma that can help you estimate either that refund or that tax bill in just a couple of minutes. And it's so helpful to do that before you actually file your taxes, because then you can avoid some surprises, and you can also start preparing either for how you're going to use that refund or how you're going to pay that tax bill.
Now, Courtney, what if, people can't make the April 15th deadline to file for taxes? Should they file an extension?
Yeah, tax day is in mid-April every year, but it has this funny habit of constantly sneaking up on so much of us. But it's important to not be an ostrich and bury your head in the sand. You want to either make sure you file by April 15th or file an extension by that day. But if your reason for wanting to file an extension is because you're nervous about paying a tax bill, the good news is that the IRS actually offers payment plans that can take that bill and break it up into more manageable chunks. But whatever you decide to do, make sure to take action by April 15th.
Absolutely. Do that, you guys. Now, Courtney, do you have any other tips that you have for consumers this morning?
If you're one of those Americans who's expecting a tax refund this year, my #1 tip is to not let it burn a hole in your pocket. It is so easy to get this check and be so excited and go and splurge and treat yourself. And there's nothing wrong with putting aside a small amount of that refund, maybe 10%, 20% max, to treat yourself. But the refund can also be such a helpful tool to make progress on your financial goals. Maybe it's paying down credit card debt or saving an emergency fund, which can be really difficult. So whatever it is, use that refund to get your 2024 off to a great start financially.
We all want to do our taxes the right way, but what is one of the biggest mistakes people make when doing their taxes each and every year?
The biggest mistake is really waiting until the last minute. It's so easy, it sneaks up on us, but the later you wait, you're on the last day, you're stressed, you don't know where all your forms are, you're flustered, you might miss something, you might leave some money on the table, and it can just be an unpleasant experience for you. The good news is that online tools have a lot of safeguards built in to catch if you're missing information or it looks like there's an error. But do yourself a favor and don't put yourself in that position to be stressed, and try to get your taxes done with time to spare this year.
A very great point right there. File early so you don't continue to have stress and have the thought in the back of your head that you have to file for your taxes. Now, Courtney, what are some of the advantages of doing your own taxes?
There's a number of advantages. Most principally, you can save money and you can save time. Doing your taxes with a CPA can cost several $100s, whereas there are a lot of low-cost or even free options available to do your own taxes. And in terms of saving time, you don't have to wait for an appointment. You can do it whenever you're ready online and have that return immediately filed so you can get that refund faster.
Well, Courtney, it's been such a great conversation talking all about tax season. Tell us, where should we go for more information with Credit Karma?
You can visit creditkarma.com or turbotax.com to get all of your tax questions answered and make you feel confident in how to file your taxes this season.
Fantastic. We'll have both websites appearing below. Courtney, so nice to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on iHollywood TV, and you take care and have a great day.
You too. Thanks for having me.